Now for What's Hot, we talk about stories that have all of us talking.
And we're joined today by Diedrick with the Falk Group. Also, we have Jeff Wagner, who's back with us. The Army private convicted of leaking classified documents says he wants to be identified as a woman now. Bradley Manning is requesting hormone therapy while he is in prison. His attorney is vowing to fight for Manning's hormone therapy. Should taxpayers have to pay for Manning as he goes through this gender journey while he's in prison?
I like the phrase, gender journey. I mean, okay, this is the type of stuff, you're all lucky that I'm in this room, not the other room, because it makes my head want to explode. You gotta be kidding me. Here you have a guy that potentially compromises national security. Now he's going to be looking at perhaps 35 years, probably less, but all that. And now he wants the taxpayers to pay the tab because he wants to go from being Brad to Bradina or whatever. Give me a break.
Chelsea, I think, is
Chelsea is the name he'd like to be called. But, and you know what? It was funny because we were having this conversation before we got on the desk, and so I'll keep my opinions to myself. But I do find it interesting. He will have received dishonorable discharge from the Army. So who would pay for this?
Well, I agree with you on this one, Jeff. I don't even think it should be considered. The fact that he's undergoing this treatment using the taxpayers' money, it's something he gave over 700,000 U.S. documents and leaked them to the public. I think that it shouldn't even be considered to use taxpayers' money to undergo this treatment while in prison. I don't think it should even be a consideration.
But it sounds like it's going to be a legal battle on this because his lawyer says, I'm going to get very familiar with this issue and try to convince, I'm sure it's going to be the courts. I mean, how do you think that one will win out in federal court?
Well, I mean, he's got 35 years to perhaps raise this issue.
Well, he thinks he's going to be pardoned by the president.
Yeah,
or out in 7.
Yeah, right. Yeah, pardoned by the president. Right. This is, I mean, see, look, I understand if he had cancer, you would say, yes, we're going to treat him for cancer. I understand that. If he had, some other ailment, you treat that. But that's not what this is. He spent his entire life as Brad. When he's ultimately released, if he wants to figure out a way to pay for this, I say go with God, but not right now.
All right, we're going to leave it at that. We got our next topic.
Now more of What's Hot, our viewer choice topic of the day.
Again, we're joined by Diedrick and Jeff Wagner of 620 WTMJ. Well, get this. UPS plans to drop 15,000 worker spouses from its health insurance plan. The company says it's because of the high cost of the health care law. UPS says it's willing to take care of its own, but won't bear the burden that other companies can take on, meaning where the spouse works. Is this fair?
Jeff, I had a little bit of trouble with this one, but I think it is fair. Basically, essentially what UPS is doing is it's only offering health care to its employees who have spouses that their employers offer health care to their spouses. And they still will cover spouses who whether are not employed or whose spouses' employers also offer health care. And it's also for non-union workers, too, are the only ones really affected by this. But I do think it's fair.
This is going to be one of these unintended consequences of the Affordable Health Care Act. At this company, for example, my spouse is on my policy, but you have to pay extra for that. There's a special surcharge. You're going to see, I think, lots of stuff like this happen because of the increase that's going to happen for employee health care costs. You're already seeing it, I think, with hiring decisions that employers are making, saying, hey, we don't want people to work more than 30 hours. I really, look, I don't know if this is going to be a train wreck or not. That's the phrase that's thrown around. I think we're going to have to wait 2 or 3 years, see how this rolls out. But I think for some people it's going to be great. For other people, they're going to say, wait, I had no idea this stuff was going to happen to me.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how many other companies will follow suit, the big ones or even the middle-sized ones, and whether or not they'll offer that option, which is what we have here. Yes, you can still keep your spouse on the in our system, but you have to pay a little bit more. So we'll continue to follow this one.
All right, guys, it's time for our lightning round. A father and son get kicked out of a Cardinals game over beer.
Yeah, the dad wanted to take a picture, so he asked his 15-year-old son to hold his beer. Here, hold this. All right. Seconds later, 2 undercover officers, well, they threw him out of the stadium. Should they have been thrown out?
My favorite topic of the day, I give props to our producer Tara for coming up with this. This is absolutely insane. Okay, within the last 2 weeks, I'm out with my 6-year-old nephew. I've got, Uncle Jeff has a beer in his hand. I had to doesn't matter what I was trying to do. I needed both hands. Alex,
What were you trying to do?
Alex, hold the beer.
Right.
He holds the beer for me. Cops come along. Are they going to arrest me? Give me a break. They toss these people out of the game and threaten them with prosecution. It's nuts.
It is a bit excessive, but one policy that the NFL is trying to implement, and they've been pushing for this the past few years now, is trying to curb the intake of alcohol inside and outside of the stadium. And if the measure is going to be a little bit tighter, and that means safety inside and outside the stadium, whether that be fights or drunk drivers leaving the stadium, putting everybody at risk, then that might be
But he wasn't
something we have
drinking,
to...
Brock.
Yeah.
He was holding it.
I
you
know, but the lesson learned here, men,
What?
is to put the beer on the ground.
I think the lesson here is where's common sense.
Right, or finish the beer before you take the picture. There you
Yeah.
go. So.
All right, we'll leave it at that. The What's Hot discussion continues online. Find that page at tmj4.com/